And welcome to Washington Commanders Insider. Today, we are looking at a possible roster boost for the Washington Commanders, especially if they make the playoffs. And so, this is an article that I found very interesting, and it suggests that there is the possibility that Jonathan Allen might be able to make it back to the Washington Commanders this season. So, it looks like, according to an ESPN reporter here, they are suggesting that. Jonathan Allen might get back here because it was feared that he was lost for the season with that torn pectoral muscle. But it looks like that the muscle was actually partially torn, which has given Jonathan Allen some hope that he could perhaps return this season. And so, with that being said, there hasn't been any other news that I'm seeing around this potential of Jonathan Allen coming back. He still is going to have his 21-day window open up. But I think if Jonathan Allen is in place to maybe come back to the Washington Commanders, I think that this is going to be a huge boost for this team because defensively, I think that if the Washington Commanders are going to make a big push in the playoffs and perhaps, maybe get back to a place that they have not been since 1992, which is the Super Bowl, you are going to have to lock up defensively. And I think that with the weather and how it is in playoff football, it really takes the air out of the football. So then I think you're going to have to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage. And defensively, that would start up front, and you would need a player like Jonathan Allen. And so even if he's back for limited snaps, I think that still helps the Washington Commanders because currently, as we get ready to go into this game versus the Saints, the Commanders are 31st in the league as far as giving up yards per carry. And so I definitely think that Jonathan Allen is a player that could help the Washington Commanders really take that number down. And I think that that's what you're going to need when you're going against some of these playoff teams because they're going to be able to run the football. Once you get into the playoffs, you're going against the elite of the elite there. And so you need that. Then also, too, as far as generating pressure, I think that is huge, especially when you're talking about making a deep playoff run. You need to make that opposing quarterback very uncomfortable. Right now, the Washington Commanders do a good job as far as generating sacks. I mean, they're tied for 15th. I think that if you were able to add, Jonathan Allen back, depending on what type of shape he's in, depending on what he can give you, I think that he's certainly going to help you there, generate some more sacks. And, those sacks are more meaningful when it's in the postseason. And also, too, with the QB hits, like right now, currently, I think the Washington Commanders are 7th there. And so I think that when you're talking about QB hits, it's generating pressure up front, in the interior of the line. So Jonathan Allen, I think, certainly helps you there. And so I think that is another added bonus. And then lastly, when you get Jonathan Allen back, depending on how Marshawn Lattimore is going to look against the Saints, I think it helps out the secondary because now if you have you're generating some more pressure up front, that suggests that opposing quarterback, their time to throw the ball is going to go down a little bit. And I think that they could be throwing into some coverages that they don't necessarily want to before, they maybe have that extra second or two to kind of wait for a play to open up, but you don't have that now because you're getting that type of pressure from Jonathan Allen and the rest of the players up front. That helps out the Washington Commanders. So it just overall, I think it helps the defense, not just on the front half, but the back half as well. And, I'd have to think that would add to some of the numbers that we're seeing because, with Dante Fowler Jr. currently at the time of this broadcast, he's averaging, or he has 8.5 sacks, on the year. So he leads the team. And then you have Frankie Louvu as well with 8 sacks. And so I think with Jonathan Allen coming back, it certainly would boost the team for sure moving forward. So anyway, let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Would this be great for the Commanders if this report is true that Jonathan Allen could potentially make it back this season? Is this something that the Washington Commanders are going to need as far as helping this defense and really making a playoff push? So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And so we just have one more day and tell. It is game day for the Washington Commanders as they get ready to take on the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be a huge game because we know that Marshawn Lattimore, he's going to be out there. He's going against a team that drafted him. He's got a lot of excitement. He wants to prove them wrong, and we want to make sure that we make these adjustments going into this last half of the season because, again, with a player like Jonathan Allen, I think he only helps you, even in limited snaps, because the Washington Commanders still have the Eagles. And we know the Eagles and Saquon Barkley, what he can do. You have the Falcons. They have Bijan Robinson, and then the Cowboys as well. And so we know what Rico Dowdle did in that last game as well. And so, look, the Washington Commanders could use that help up front. So anyway, this is a Washington Commanders Insider, and we'll be talking about the game day preview on this next one. All right. Peace. Take care.